Hello, 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 hello. Yes. Getting on another live. How is everyone doing? Hey. Welcome. How's everyone doing? Hey, it's good to be back. Hey, so welcome back to another great episode of the Sweet Lou Special. Hey, this is your boy, Sweet Lou, right here. All right? Hey, thank you all again. I just want to start off this episode like I do with every other one with an extreme thank you and appreciation to you guys, the viewers, the followers on my Instagram, on my Facebook page, on my family and friends. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for the support. Man, it's a Friday night. It's a little bit late tonight, but I couldn't neglect my viewers, my followers. So I'm giving you guys a special live show tonight. And I really appreciate y'all coming out here, doing my best to promote the channel. Man, lots of love, lots of follows, man. I'm loving it. Great time. And I'm loving doing this. Man, it's so therapeutic for me. It's a great time. And I want to give you guys a heads up that starting next week on Monday, I'm going to be starting a little bit more of a solid schedule for you guys. My plan is to get these shows out to you in the early afternoon Pacific Standard Time, roughly about 1 or 2 o'clock, so that you guys can get more of a used to a schedule with me. I'm also going to be having my videos obviously uploaded on YouTube, but I'll also be doing playbacks of my episodes on my Facebook page. So tonight's episode I'm going to re-air tomorrow on my Facebook page. If you guys want to check it out, my Instagram or my Facebook page, I'm going to have the description on the bottom. Go ahead and check me out and look it up. Love to have you guys follow. It will be a great honor. That way you guys don't miss anything. Up-to-date news, my opinions, my rants, my raves, everything, and all of it in between. So, happy Friday night, Saturday morning, depending on where you're at. Hey, great conclusion to a great week. Not too bad. So, let's get started on today's episode of the Sweet Lou Special. All right, hey, so let's get cracking with this topic that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Something that's been kind of really pissing me off lately here today and over throughout the week. So everyone knows about the Mueller report came out last week, and it threw everyone for a shitstorm. Kind of pissed off the Democrats, as expected, and it should have been, because now they're running out of ammo for my good old boy Trump right here. That's right, President Trump. Right, so now, this week, what's the next ploy? Tax returns. Man, bringing up the tax returns yet again. All right, so for you guys that don't remember, when Trump became president, came into office, the House demanded his tax returns. He came out with this response of, I'm under audit, I'm not going to give you guys anything. Hey, honestly, I don't blame the guy. He basically broke a 40-year tradition of presidents refusing to give up his tax return. I guess for up to 40 years prior to 2017, United States presidents were giving out their tax returns. I don't know, maybe it was just a good gesture of, hey, take a look at my finances. I don't have anything to hide. And so now the next ploy here is to really attack President Trump and try to get those tax returns because we want to find something. Oh, I know he's got something hiding in there. Man, who gives a shit? It's like, why? Why is it such a big deal to take a look at the man's tax returns? I'm sure he's paid a lot of taxes in his years. Making a lot of money, paying a lot of taxes as expected. I don't know what they expect to find. Some kind of, oh boy. Who knows? But, they got something up their sleeve. They're very tricky, those Democrats. Now, I could empathize with President Trump because, honestly, I wouldn't feel comfortable about putting my tax returns and my financial information out to the public, the house, to my neighbor, to the dog, whatever. I wouldn't feel comfortable about doing that. Now, imagine me asking you guys, the audience, hey, feel free to email me a copy of your guys' tax returns. I want to know how much you guys received back, or I want to know how much you paid in, how much you guys earned. In all honesty, that is no one's prerogative. No one needs to know. Right? I find that kind of sensitive, that kind of information very sensitive and very personal. So again, all the Democrats really want to do is just try to discredit the president of the United States. Gotta have the next thing, right? So they've been plotting for this one. Alpha Charlie, or AOC, however you want to call her, rising up, stirring the shit pot yet again. We're not asking, we are demanding those tax returns. We're not asking the president, we're demanding it from the IRS. My goodness. The IRS is supposed to secure private information. They have access to our social security numbers, how much we make, where we've worked, employee identification numbers, all kinds of stuff, And to what? Is there something illegal that the president is doing? Is there suspicion enough for them to actually legally obtain his tax returns? No. Come on. It's just another ploy, another tack, and another plan to try to destroy the character of the president. They've been trying to do this ever since the man got into office, before the man got into office. Everything that they're trying to find to ruin the man's reputation for what? What is this really causing? And I'll tell you what this is really causing. This is my opinion, and I think I'm pretty right in this, is that it's a waste of time, a waste of resources, a waste of money to find what? Basically nothing. They're not going to find anything, and if they do, now God forbid, I've been wrong before in my day, and I'll probably continue to be wrong, as I've said many times, and I'll probably say many more times in this show. But I don't think they're going to find anything. I don't think there's anything secretive in there, that they're going to find the Russian collusion in there, that they've been begging for something. It's just a waste of time. Waste of time. Now, I will give them this, that, it does seem kind of oddly suspicious that the president has been saying, well, I'm under audit. He's still under audit, continue to be under audit. I'm not going to give it. I just think he's trying to just blow off the question and really not dig deep into their probe of trying to get those tax returns. So I don't really blame him. I wouldn't feel comfortable. No, not one bit. But every week, something new. Try to get him on this, being racist, being, the border. That's another thing that, Alpha Charlie, AOC is trying to put up, saying that children are being vaccinated or some kind of, they're getting shots against their will. They're being held in cages. I just listened today, and I think I shared this on my Facebook page earlier, about some of the Border Patrol, and there was a supervisor, I believe she was a supervisor. I don't know her title, but basically came out and said in a minute that, through her working at the border, had said that they are coming together and are even making fake families so that they can get special treatment of some sorts or some kind. I don't know the exact specifics, but, they keep coming in the tens of thousands across the border, and that the Border Patrol doesn't have the manpower, the resources to really combat against this, and then AOC is going off saying that, we're mistreating the immigrants in there, which isn't the case. I don't believe it. Not for one bit. Yes, there was that video of them being put, behind the chain link fences, and they were given, space blankets and stuff like that. Well, I would think that still is conditions a lot better than the country that they came in from. God forbid. And I'm not going to be jumping to conclusions here. I am just going off by what I'm witnessing. And I just don't think that they're being mistreated. They just get deported back and they come back again. Anyway, but again, it's just every week. Something new. Something new. The Democrats fail to amaze me. You know, they don't fail to amaze me. It's just amazing the stuff that they come up with. Now, why go through all of this? Why go through all of it? To attack the president's character, to destroy his reputation, when it's really just creating a distraction. Really, just by creating some more and more crap to just put onto the president's shoulders, you're really taking away his ability to perform his duties as the president. You know, it's performing distractions. That's what it is. You know, the man's not going to be able to do his job 100% effectively as he should, because now he has to worry about this crap and then move on to the next thing next week and worry about that crap. You know, what is it? Check, check, check. You know, and more that I see these kind of things, the Mueller report, Russian collusion, the border, the racism, this, and claiming that he's this and claiming that he's that. You know, people want to make fun of that famous words and quotes of fake news and witch hunt, which I'm beginning to believe that stuff more and more. I believe this is becoming a fake news, and this is just another ploy in a political witch hunt. This to try to defamate the president. And it's ridiculous, man. Why spend all this time and effort and energy from the House to try to attack this man when he's doing his job and he's trying to do his best to make the economy better, provide jobs, and putting the American people first, when they should be coming together to debate about policy making, about creating new laws? Now, granted, the Green New Deal destroyed by the Senate. Destroyed. I mean, granted, I'll give this to her, that it was probably she had the greatest of intentions and wholeheartely wanted to do good. But however, it was such a mess. So to create a $93 trillion bill for the American people to have to pay over this time frame. Ridiculous. To get rid of cows because of the flatulence, and to make sure that and to get rid of airplanes. The senator from Utah completely just destroyed it, trolled, the entire Green New Deal by putting up a picture of the Ronald Reagan on a Raptor. Amazing speech, by the way, and if you haven't seen it, I urge you to take a look at it. But with all this time and effort wasted, why not come together, debate with both left and right, come up with a conclusion, something, a bipartisan answer to or solution to these problems that we're having here in the United States? I'm all for climate change. I'm all for going green within reason, without having to put the people in debt and have to create more taxes, or having to completely get rid of transportation that's required for people to get across the United States or even overseas. This is ridiculous. Or why not concentrate more on coming up with the solution to the U.S.-Mexico border problem? Why not come up with that? But no, we have to get those tax returns. Or better yet, why don't they just push that aside and concentrate more on the situation in Venezuela, where there's Russian and possibly Chinese military personnel out there advising the Venezuelan government and the corrupt president over there, while the Venezuelan people are poor, don't even have fresh water. I mean, they're suffering every day. But no, we have to worry about the president's tax returns. I mean, they already wasted enough money on the Mueller report. Why not waste some more, right? It becomes ridiculous. And I just couldn't imagine just being in the president's shoes, having to deal with this shit week after week, day after day. No time off, man. It's just, but hey, he handles it. It's the stress of being the president, right? The man. It's ridiculous. The House, the Democrats, They just need to pull their heads out of the third points of contact and just get some shit done for the American people. And remember who they actually work for. They're not working for themselves. They're working for the people that they represent, their constituents. I think they forget that. They take it as a fight that they have a lot of pride in, that they don't want to budge. And it becomes ridiculous. And who's the ones that have to suffer? The American people do. So, moving on. All right, so marijuana. Next topic, marijuana, right? So as there's many states now in the United States that have full legalization of recreational marijuana. The federal government still doesn't have it legalized. It's getting closer. My personal opinion is that probably within 10 years, we're going to have full federal legalization of marijuana. That's my guess. If I'm a betting man, that's what I'm betting. Now, facts about marijuana's legalization here in the United States. It is considered a Schedule I substance by the United States. Okay, that is the highest scheduling that you can get for any kind of substance, drug, legal or illegal, that is, here in the United States. Now, heroin is in the same schedule as marijuana, Schedule 1. Cocaine is a Schedule 2, a step below marijuana. So basically saying that marijuana is more dangerous to people than cocaine and equally dangerous as a heroin. Crazy, I know. And as times go by, the views and opinions of the American people and how they feel about marijuana has been changing in the past 20, 30, 40 years. There's so many people that use it. Many states that still have it illegal. It's just a ticketed offense as long as you don't have a scale or it's within a certain amount. I mean, it's just creating more problems for people to have it illegal. My personal opinion is to legalize the damn thing. I mean, I don't see any drawbacks and negativities about having marijuana legalized in the United States. Now, the fact that I want to share with you that I recently read was that even though the federal government still has it outlawed, that the U.S. government controls a patent that basically states that cannabinoids can be used to treat diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, HIV, and dementia. Now, I fully believe that. And the point that I want to share with you guys is that I find it so contradictory to have that the federal government still has it illegal when they have control of patent that shows that it can cure and help manage these diseases that plague so many people here in the United States, hell, across the world. I mean, these are proven facts. I've seen videos online where people with Parkinson's disease that it immediately cures it, not cures it, but calms it down when they're going through their episode, when they inhale marijuana, when they have THC. It's amazing. I've seen, HIV patients can greatly benefit. People that have cancer can greatly benefit. It gets their appetite back up. I see so many positive sides to appropriate use of marijuana and cannabinoids and THC that I don't see how it's still an issue of having it illegal. So why? Why does the government keep it illegal? Why was it illegalized in the first place? Why was it made a crime to possess hemp, marijuana, and stuff? If you don't know, the history behind it goes back into the early 20th century, maybe late 19th century. Textile companies, really lobbied to try to get it outlawed. Hemp could be used for many, many things, right? It could be used for making rope, textiles, clothing, plastics now that they've come up with, all different kinds of things, right? And so the hemp plant, its turnover rate is just phenomenal. I think within 6 months it reaches adulthood, and that's when it can be cultivated. And so every 6 months you can just get a new crop coming in. and it just grows so plentiful, right? Well, anyways, textile companies and their owners had really lobbied against it because it was going to be a cheaper method of getting material for the competitors to get, and so they didn't want people to compete against them and make more money. So it all comes down to the mighty dollar. That's why it was made illegal in the first place. Now, like I said, there's many uses for hemp, and just last year, President Trump had signed in the Farmers Act, which is a bill. I believe it comes every year, maybe every 2 years, 3 years. I can't remember the exact time frame, but it basically details the subsidies for farmers here in the United States. Now, there's been this trade deficit or trade war, I guess you can call it, trade issue with NAFTA coming from Canada, between Canada and the United States. And it's been really hurting the farmers on both sides with this importation, exportation of dairy products and various other things. Anyway, so it was made legal and approved by President Trump for farmers here in the United States to grow hemp on their farms. Now it's just one step closer, and then the stipulation is that they can grow hemp as long as like the THC levels of the products is below like 0.5%, something like that. There's like a certain level or percentage of potency of THC. Now hemp in itself, it doesn't really naturally grow the buds that you use to consume marijuana normally. Now hemp in its rawest form is just a tall plant, kind of like a weed. Basically, that's where the comes from, the calling it weed. And you know what? Let me share that picture with you because y'all probably will recognize it anyway. So you guys can get a look at the fact that I read. You guys probably seen it, but let's share it. Let's share it because I like to. Right there. U.S. government classifies cannabis as a Schedule I substance with no accepted medical use. However, the government also owns patent 6630507, stating cannabinoids can be useful in the treatment of neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, HIV, and dementia. And I'm sure that's just tipping the iceberg. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's more. I mean, it can help out with so much more. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. Here we are, playing these stupid games. Anyway. Now, kind of carry on a little bit more about that, and how I believe, looking at it from a financial standpoint. Now, I'm a big believer in sin tax. Sin tax, you just tax the hell out of alcohol, cigarettes. Now, if we made this legal, imagine the money and the revenue that this can bring in just for the governments, local government, state, jobs it could create, all different kinds, just bringing so much more money, and tax the hell out of it. And I'm sure that even if it was legalized, it would still be a great competitor and it would completely destroy the black market sales of marijuana today. Now, they even came out with a very interesting study not too long ago after some of the states had created legalized recreational use of marijuana, and that, it's still a multi-billion-dollar industry. And I'm here in Washington, so it's been legal here since 2013. And, they're cash-only businesses. And so to really monitor how much money they bring in from revenue, if it's just cash only, is going to make things a lot more difficult. You're missing out probably on tax money that the state could have gotten. And they can't open up bank accounts because banks are regulated by the federal government. And so, because it's federally illegal, it still creates problems here for the business person, small businesses here in in Washington, Colorado, California, Oregon, and all the other states that have it legalized, because it has to be cash only. So I'm sure the state has good intentions of taxing the hell out of it and putting it into educational programs, but I'm sure there's a lot of leakage, so we need to fix that. We need to make it legal. And, why can't we just, get a whole bunch of tax money off of marijuana and put it towards, like I said, education? Or I got a great idea. How about we be able to provide women who bear children, who give birth, who are work full time, give them maybe a small stipend for 3 to 6 months maybe with that money, so that they can stay home and create a better beginning of life for their children by having that bonding, instead of having maybe only a few weeks, a month or two off, and then having to get back to work or else lose their job. And I get it that there's other countries and socialist countries that are be able to provide, a couple years for mothers to be able to bond with their children after birth, and that they don't have to worry about working full time and supporting their family. Maybe we can start with something small like that with that money. Billions of dollars coming in tax revenue. I don't foresee the marijuana industry going down at all in the market. People are going to be consuming it more and more. That's why they made it legal in some states. Just listen to the people. More and more people are... Why waste the judicial system, to tie up with that, with busting people for marijuana? Well, there's basically half the damn country's using it. All different types of ages, races and stuff. Come on. Different types of people. Come on. Make it legal. All right. So, next point, on to some military-related matters. Now, this is something that kind of really upset me today. And I was wondering, how the hell did this happen? It's just getting soft, man. It's just getting really, really weird. And, let me pull up the picture here. Yeah. Hold on. Right there is good. All right, I want to share this with the viewers. You can take time to read it. I can read it out loud for you. I think it would be good. Let's read it together. All right. So what this is a letter of reprimand to an airman, and I'm assuming it's a active duty. So anyway, subject: letter of reprimand. On or about 28 March 2019, you failed to maintain good order and discipline, unit cohesion, and respect for authority by liking a post on Air Force Airman NCO, Senior NCO Facebook page, which publicly mocked and discredited the 747th Communications Squadron Commander and the unit. You are hereby reprimanded, ! All caps and bold. You want to make sure he saw that one. As an airman, you are expected to maintain the standards set forth by the United States Air Force instruction, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, basically what this is a big pile of shit on a paper, and I would be very, very, very upset if I was the one receiving this. Go ahead and take the time to look at it, read it. Now, I don't really know what it means to get a letter of reprimand in the Air Force. Now, I get it if for someone that is of higher rank in the Army, I've seen it. I don't know this person's rank. Don't know if they're enlisted, officer, whatever. I'm going to assume that it's an enlistee. Might be wrong. But, from my understanding, this is going to follow the airman for the rest of his career. However long or short that's going to be, I find it ridiculous. Just for liking a post on a Facebook page. I mean, I'm part of quite a few veteran Facebook pages. And and trust me, I know I can understand both sides of this. All right. To me, my very first impression is that this is a very sensitive commander that probably not really liked within the unit, and is really flexing pretty hard on this to maintain maintain his power, whatever you want to call it, authority. And but where is this crossing the line of free speech? Now, this person didn't go out, from my understanding and what reading on that letter of reprimand, the person did not go out and just type bad stuff about the commander or about the unit, really discrediting it. Now, I'm pretty sure that this person's Facebook page has something that shows that he's in the Air Force, he or she, assuming, okay, I'll say they are in the Air Force. So, yeah, they are probably representing the Air Force as a whole. Now, how do they find out? Now, through my experience of being in active duty for quite a few years, every unit has like an FRG or some kind of unit Facebook page that, the service members in the unit that they like, the family members like, so they get to follow all the updates. They get super cool, see what the unit's doing, what kind of training, all that other crazy, stupid shit that they do. And if you like the page, they are able to see your profile, and then they're able to see other stuff that you like. Or they make their Facebook page a commander or whoever, and they like the same group, and they get into the same group that you're in, and so they monitor that stuff. Now, in my experience, I have seen commanders relieved of command for saying, bad stuff about their soldiers or their, people, their subordinates, and, they get caught by the battalion, and then they get relieved of command because they decided to go on a rant on Facebook and say some negative things about some of the NCOs in the unit, and then boom, gone, right? So, I mean, they're taking social media very seriously. I've said to young soldiers all the time, man, that Facebook is the devil. You could get yourself caught up in a lot of trouble for all the shit that you could put on there. Now, as you guys probably know and experienced with social media, has been out there for quite a while now. And, it could cause you problems. It cause you a lot of problems just by liking a certain person's picture. Get text messages from 50,000 people wondering what the hell you're doing or where you at. I mean, no one's shy about sharing their information, where they're doing, what they're eating, where they're at, who they're with, sharing a damn picture of it too, of like, hey, here's my address, phone number, list of fears and my social security bank account numbers and all this other shit, So, the military, man, they're really cracking down on this shit. I mean, you think that you're safe, you're not, man. You put it out there, people will find it. People can see it. Spreads like wildfire, man, and it only comes around, circles around, and bites you right in the ass. Now, again, I wasn't in the Air Force, and I don't think I assume that this is kind of like this, similar to a company grade Article 15. Maybe not, I don't know. So if you're a current airman or a veteran of the Air Force, I would like to know, like, how serious is a letter of reprimand? Because, like, from my understanding in these veteran groups, that these get handed out like candy, or it's not uncommon to see a letter of reprimand. I don't get to see, I never saw them too often. I've seen general letters of reprimand, and that sucks. Oh, excuse me. Now, but again, we'll go back to, where does this cross the line of free speech? Was this speech? Is a like speech? Is that a gesture? Is that acknowledgement? Makes you wonder. I think there's been issues or cases that detail this. And it'll be interesting to get what your guys' opinion is on this. Now, I think it's absolute bullshit to just come on. The commander's got something up his ass. Up their ass. Well, I think it's a he on this one, so I can say that. I'm not going to put the person's name out there, but I'm sure it's gone all throughout the veteran community and all the military community, so everyone knows by now. But, like, do you think, and this is bringing a bad view about what it's like to be in the military. Just because you're in the military doesn't mean that you give up all of your rights. It doesn't. You do have the right to free speech, believe it or not. You do have the right to voice your opinion. Now, however, you cannot bring discredit upon yourself or upon the Air Force or upon the military or upon your unit by saying stuff that discredits the unit or discredits, especially against a senior ranking officer or a non-commissioned officer. Now, does that mean that you can't like a photo that's making fun of someone? No. I don't think that brings discredit. It's not like you're going out protesting, and it's not like you're in uniform and you're just giving the middle finger out to everyone. You know, there's ways about it. But just because you're in the military doesn't mean that you have to give up all of your rights. And it doesn't mean that you can't freely express yourself within reason. Not at all. And again, you know, some of the people that I've shared this with, you know, they can agree with me that, you know, I don't really see the elements of the alleged crime. Let's see here. Let me take a look at it again. Good order and discipline, unit cohesion, and respect for authority. By just liking a post, a picture, or whatever the hell it was. Absolutely ridiculous, man. I wouldn't accept it. I'd fight every single bit of it. I'd take that shit to a court-martial. Now, and it makes you wonder, what kind of like was it? Was it a thumbs up like? Was it a mad, angry emoji like? I mean, come on. So stupid, man. Juvenile. But, you know, it comes up. You can't slander people. I don't think this was slanderous. It's too bad. You know, and that's where we're at in the military today, it seems like. You know, especially before I got out. You know, it's unfortunate, but, you know, it is what it is. New generations, new rules have created. You know, it leans out the old. And, you know. I'd like to get your guys' opinion on it, though. You know, what do you think? Do you think that this is a violation of his right to free speech? Do you think that this is correct? Do you think that it's just the commander just trying to flex his authority? Do you think that it's... I want to get your guys' opinion. So, you know, hey, getting part of the discussion. Add the comment. You know, don't be afraid to put your point of view. Maybe I'm full of shit. Maybe you like to troll me. Or, hey, challenge me. Argue, debate, whatever. I welcome it all. I love to hear it. Last thing, I want to give you guys a little bit of an update on the Jussie Smollett incident. Situation, debacle, shitstorm, whatever you want to call it. Complete mess, right? 16 charges, completely dropped. We all know about this. Been going on for, was it just on Monday? I can't remember, man. All my days are blending in. Anyway, not too long ago, caused a real shitstorm. Jussie Smollett, exonerated. Well, just dropped, right? So, in case you guys didn't know, Chicago Police Department are demanding that he pay all the money that was put into investigating his false claim, right? Doesn't say that he was innocent of it. They just dropped the charges, right? So let's get the legalities set aside. And we know that this is basically fact. You know, it's the 2019 version of like OJ walking, whatever. And so I believe it's like $130,000 that the city had paid or spent into investigating this erroneous claim of him being jumped by two white men wearing red hats and putting a noose around his neck, calling him names and, you know, that are against him because he was a homosexual and or a gay man, and saying that this is MAGA country or whatever the hell. Completely false and faked. There's a lot of lies going around, you know, and he's trying to make himself look like he is the victim. And, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, the things have come out, I believe, oh, God, what is her name? Fox, I believe. Let's find out. Oh. I'm going to give you guys the right name here. Kimberly Fox. Yep, that's her name. Kim Fox. All right, now she's getting a lot of flack. And a lot of organizations are demanding her to be, to resign her position as the state's attorney for Cook County. And now they're bringing up a lot of stuff about her not filing charges for some murder crimes, this and that. So, yeah, man, I don't know what's going to go on about that. And that there's some allegations, too, that Jussie Smollett and Kim Foxx both have ties with the Obamas. I mean, that's where, old Barry was from, Chicago. And so that they think that they just got privilege, economic privilege, money, wealth, got themselves paid out of it, himself paid out of it, so he wouldn't get in trouble. The entire thing is just crazy. Anyway, Cook County and the city of Chicago, they're demanding that get that $130,000 back. They gave him an official notice saying, hey, we demand this money back. You got 7 days to pay it. He didn't pay it in 7 days, 7 calendar days. So now they're going to be taking him to court, suing him for the money, and which, of course, he's probably going to fight it. They're probably going to settle. I wouldn't settle if I was the city. I'd try to make it a point, be like, yeah, well, you did this. You broke the law. You are guilty of this. Now, again, I'm not going to be saying that he is guilty, but I just think that someone's lying to us, and I don't think that all the facts of the case were falsified. I don't believe that that every single police officer or detective involved was completely, not knowing what they were doing. I don't believe that. Not one bit. I believe there was a lot of truth behind what was put out in the media. I don't think it was all lies. I think we're being lied now. I believe that there's being a lot of bullshit being put out right now about the entire case. But you know what? This is something that we're just going to have to write out and see how it goes. And, everyone's hoping that, justice is served. Will she, resign her position? No. I think she made a statement, as in Kim Foxx is who I'm referring to. I think she made a statement recently and said that when she's going to be up for re-election, that the people elected her to do a job, and she's going to fulfill that job until people are not going to vote for her anymore. Well, I think that she's got a lot of negative publicity now that I don't think that's going to happen, that she's going to get re-elected. So we'll see. It's an unfortunate thing. And I don't know what's going to happen with this man's career either. Is he going to receive a lot of backlash? Do you think that the American people believe him? I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that he was full of shit? Do you think that he really committed the crime? Do you think that his economic privilege or his wealth or his connections really got him off of the crimes? Share your thoughts. I would like to know. I would like to see different people's points of view. Maybe I'm the one full of shit. I like the trolls. Anyway, all right. So that's basically going to wrap it up for tonight's episode. Okay, we got some good topics in. We're moving along. I really want to thank you guys again for coming out, watching my show, The Sweet Lou Special. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Don't be afraid to subscribe. That way you guys can get the updates about when I put out new content. And I'm always going to be putting out new content. Always. I want to be trying to give you guys as much stuff to watch, to listen to debate with, to laugh at me, call me an idiot, whatever you like to do. I want to give it to you guys. My opinion. Current events, politics, military matters. Need to get a little bit more about life in the universe. But I really, really appreciate it. And again, hey, don't be afraid to hit the subscribe button. That way you guys can catch my stuff right when I release it. Live, replays, everything. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. And I hope you guys and all the viewers have a wonderful evening and a great, awesome weekend. Enjoy spring. Have fun. Be safe. Bye.